Friends, Greg, Newmaster, coming at you again with another action figure review. Man, all of a sudden all these toys are starting to hit because it looks like the supply chain is catching up, so that's very exciting. Today I have Star Wars The Vintage Collection, The Vest Collection, Ahsoka Tano, Mandalore version from the Clone Wars. Super excited to get this figure. Ahsoka Tano, the apprentice Padawan of Anakin Skywalker from the animated series Clone Wars, and she's been brought into live action by the wonderful Rosario Dawson on The Mandalorian, and she's going to be having her own spin-off show. So it's a very exciting time, in my opinion, to be a Star Wars fan and a comic collector. And it's very exciting to see that Disney is righting the ship because the sequel trilogy was very underwhelming and disappointing in a lot of ways. And with the Mandalorian universe, they're fixing things and, just appealing to the old fans. And not to say that the new fans shouldn't be appealed to as well, but you gotta face it, the new trilogy was a mess. It was just a mess. They had no clear vision. J.J. Abrams was initially brought on. He seemed to have somewhat of a vision, and then Rian Johnson just went totally the other way. In my opinion, ruined it with The Last Jedi, and then J.J. was brought back on to fix it, and it was just nuts. So, hopefully, with the new Ahsoka series, with the Mandalorian, with the Book of Boba Fett, and all these other spin-off series that are coming, they'll just continue to produce quality Star Wars entertainment, which I'm very excited for. However, my dream above all dreams is that they would adapt the original expanded universe, which is now called Legends. I'll never call it that. It's like calling the WWF the WWE. I know it's been the WWE for a long time, but forever in my heart as a kid who grew up in the 80s and 90s, it'll always be the WWF. Just as well as the expanded universe will never be Legends to me, but it'll be the expanded universe with characters such as Mara Jade, Jason and Jaina Solo, Anakin Solo, Ben Skywalker, all those terrific books. So, enough of me babbling. Let's get into this figure review. So excited. This is a more grown-up, a more mature Ahsoka. And finally, the Vintage Collection, the 3.75 scale line, has given us this figure. However, I was curious why they didn't give us the Rosario Dawson version, because it would seem that they would want to push that image of Ahsoka instead of the more traditional Ashley Eckstein version from the animated series. But whatever, I'll take it because this uniform is badass. And that the ending of the Clone Wars was so good, such quality writing and animation. It was just so exciting. So let's get into the figure. I got this figure from a case, and the card's a little beat up, which I don't really care because I don't care about the card. So I took this one instead of the one with the better looking card that I'm going to sell. But we got a nice image on the front here. It looks like it's taken right from the show. Those last few episodes, right when she battles Darth Maul, or Maul, however you want to call him. There's the Kenner logo on the bottom. What else? So also in the series, we get the new and improved Boba Fett. That figure is amazing. One of the best 3.75 figures ever made. We get Darth Maul, Mandalore, which I also have and will be reviewing. We get a carded figure of Echo that originally came from the 3-pack. There's Princess Leia, Greef Karga, and the Child. And also the Jawa, but I'm waiting for the Jawa when the Razor Crest comes. So we get VC202, and let's bust this baby open so you guys can see what you're gonna get. And she just, like, this sculpt looks amazing. I'm just already impressed, and it just looks like it's gonna be a vast improvement of the original Ahsoka figure, and I'll show you the comparison with that. And as I did that, her head popped off and her body stayed on. So let's get that off there. That's what happened when I took mine out of the plastic. It's not broken, but just be careful. So she's got the double head ball joint articulation, really loose, tons of head movement there, which is really nice. I was kind of annoyed when they first started doing these double ball joint head articulation, but then I decided I liked it better because it does give you better range of motion. The only reason I didn't like it because they had the single ball joint on all the other figures, and sometimes I like to do a head swap with my Lukes and things like that. But other than that, it's great. My head's really loose though, and so is her torso. A very loose torso, but that's okay. But let's get a good look at her. I mean, that just looks great, and I love how they take the animated figures and make them look real, even though her face, just because the fact that she's an alien, she does kind of look animated, but she looks fantastic. And that looks like Ashley Eckstein. It doesn't look like Rosario Dawson, so interesting that they went that route. There's the back of her. She's like a nice armored tunic. It looks really nice. Just the beautiful details. I love this outfit. I like the Rosario Dawson outfit too. She kind of looked more like a samurai. She had the big baggy like MC Hammer pants. This is more sleek. She has the nice bracer or greaves on her shins there, shin guards. The brown boots in the back with a reddish tint, reddish brown. I forget what, maroon maybe, is that what the color is? They also put a little bit of paint on her shoulders and under her armpits, I guess to like demonstrate the way that the costume looks, but whatever. I never would have noticed that. And here's something interesting as well. It looks like there's a ball joint on the shoulders, so we get more range of motion. It could just be the sculpt and the design. I don't know if you guys can see that in there, but it looks like we get a little bit of a butterfly joint action. But I could just be imagining that. But great articulation on this figure. Yeah, so let's go through that so you guys can see it. So she is 3.75 inches. We got the full shoulder rotation. We got one joint in the elbow, but it goes a little bit more than 90 degrees. And it's a soft plastic, so you can get more movement, even though I'm always a fan of double jointed elbows and knees. And they've done that in their G.I. Joe, so I never understood why they couldn't do that in their Star Wars 3.75. She just has rotation in the wrist, and the wrist is sculpted down, which is fine. And she has little wrists, so, you know, they couldn't put that hinge in there. I can see why they didn't do that, because it's just so thin. It would probably break or just wouldn't work. Look at the bracers there. Look really nice, silver and blue. I just love this uniform that they gave her. She also has a cut in the elbow, so you can get rotation there as well for some nice posing and lightsaber action. She has a full rotation in the middle of the torso. She could crunch down about that far, crunch back really far, which is good because she flips all over the place using the force. Let's get a look at the hips. So she's got the hip joints that are indicative of Hasbro Star Wars figures. I don't know what to call these. They're like Y joints. Yeah, I guess that would be a Y joint, not a T joint. I'm not a fan of these. I just wish they'd do like a T joint because they're kind of hard to maneuver. But her kick can go up that high. She has a thigh cut there. Let's see her knees. Let's get that kick up. Yeah, that's a really good bend in the knee. So she also has ankle hinge. And that's actually kind of loose in my figure. And she has pivot, which is great. I hate it when they, I think for Mando, they didn't give him ankle pivot, which just annoyed me. It's like, come on, you guys are improving all these figures. Give him pivot. So she looks wonderful absolutely wonderful. And I'm going to set her here for a moment while I get out her new blue lightsabers. These are the lightsabers that Anakin made for her and gave her to replace her green ones in the Clone Wars series after she left the Jedi Order. And they look beautiful. Like, look at that. That's like a nice metallic silver. It really stands out. Just pops, and it's just a nice blue color. And then there's her mini saber as well. Just looks really, really good. And the issue I had on the original figure from the vintage collection was that she didn't hold her lightsabers very well, so I had to put some like sticky tack in there so she could hold them. But it looks like, yeah, these lightsabers are nice and tight. They sculpted these hands very well, so it holds the lightsabers very good. So I'm not even going to have to put any stickums or anything in there because it's very nice. So just I think she holds one upside down, or normally actually she holds them both upside down. But we'll give her like sort of that pose. But yeah, she looks fantastic. I was fortunate enough to like snag a case of these on eBay for a really good price. So I'm actually selling the other ones on my eBay page. But here is the original one. And, you know, the original one, she looks... Oh, yeah, so here's something different between the original one and this new one. She doesn't come with the individual lightsaber hilts. So, you just get the lightsabers ignited, and that's it, if you care about that in terms of accessories. So here's the original one. If you look at that face, this is actually from the very first release of this figure. So she has a very baby face there. She actually looks like a child, which is appropriate. And here she looks more grown up, and she looks like Ashley Eckstein. So, and also her tentacles, I don't even know what to call those. It's like her headdress, but I know it's organic and it's a part of her head. But look at the change in the color. This is like a very bright blue. This is a gray, like, on this. And she has a really nice gold tiara on the original one. She's not wearing that anymore. So it's a very grown-up and nice-looking figure. Also, so here's with her original green lightsabers. And as I said, I had to put some stickum in there because the hands... the lightsabers were too thin and the hands just wouldn't hold them. So yeah, this figure is incredible. Highly recommend it if you guys can get it. The articulation is great. The sculpt is beautiful. And the character is just fantastic. If you love Ahsoka Tano, don't sleep on this, guys. Get this figure as soon as you can. Just wonderful. I'm going to be doing a Darth Maul review, the new Darth Maul Mandalore, and I'm going to do an Echo review as well. So please like the video and subscribe if you like my videos, and God bless you all. Peace.